श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जय राधे राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा माय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद
Jaya
जय जय प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
प्रभुपाद
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai,
नाम संकीर्तन की
Jai.
जय गौर प्रेमानंदे
Hari 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 Hari. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Charumataji. Nice kirtan. Samit Prabhu, you can hear me? And you can see the screen? Okay, cool. Okay, we'll start.
Sorry, my unmute button vanished somewhere, so it's all good. Yes, I can see you,
That's okay, that's okay.
and I can hear you as well.
Okay, Hare Krishna. We'll start from Mangalacharana. Om
ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. So we started from 252 last week, or it was 254. I can't remember. Sumit Prabhu, it was
Yes,
which verse?
252, Prabhuji. 252 to 257.
Okay.
We did until 257.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Now, just to let everyone know, my internet just gone off, so I'm on my mobile. So if there's some interruption, please let me know. Mobile is not the best, but I've just connected with the mobile because my actual internet is gone just now. Okay, let's see how we go. So let's start from Manmohan Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you were there last week?
Yes, Prabhu, I was.
Okay. Would you like to do 252?
Sure, Prabhu. So just read the
Translation and few good, whatever takeaway points you remember.
So when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all has been heard and all that is to be heard. I don't remember much, Prabhu, but I think we were talking about the Vedas, like how they are giving lots of rituals for Karam Kanda, and there's a lot of bewilderment which entangles us in the material world. Uh, so this is the dense forest of delusion. And then once you have passed beyond that and you understand the end result of Vedas, or the goal of Vedas is to understand Krishna, then you would become indifferent to whatever is being said in the Vedas and all that flowery language which has been used to attract you and to keep you in this material world. Then you will become indifferent to all those things and you will understand the real goal of the Vedas, or to understand Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice. Just wanted to add one more point, actually 2 more points which comes to my mind. So what does moha mean? Illusion, as you were saying, Prabhuji, you'll pass this illusion. So what's the definition of illusion, which we discussed last week?
So moha is attachment, an attachment to bodily concept.
Moha is actually illusion, Prabhu. Moha is illusion. So,
yes, Prabhu.
So illusion. So how do we understand this? You remember?
So I don't remember exactly, Prabhu, again, but
okay.
I think it is attachment to the bodily conception and our relationship.
Okay. Yep.
And which is the main reason why we don't get out of this repeated cycle, because we have to attach to the body and the bodily conception.
Yep.
So that is what my understanding of illusion is mainly.
That is also good. Anyone else want to add this something on top of it? It is correct. Our bodily illusion, that is correct. One simple definition. Yes,
Sadhya and sadhana are not clear, so intelligence is trapped in forest of illusion or delusion.
Yep. So sadhya and sadhana is not clear. Okay. More.
Is it due to Maya?
In layman's language. Sorry, Prabhuji.
Is it due to Maya?
Yes, but what it is? So it is due to Maya. It's correct. It is our bodily illusion. That is correct. We are bewildered, as Charumataji said. Sadhya and sadhana is not clear. So what it is due to Maya, definitely. But what happens under illusion to us? We start thinking what is not good for us, we think that's very good for us. And what is good for us, we think that's not required. For example, material mundane things. Sorry.
It is related to dualities, no?
Yes. Dualities which this world offer, we get stuck into it and we start thinking what is not important, the anarthas basically. We actually give them importance as artha. Artha means something important. And artha, which is the real artha, or not needed, or we'll do it later. You talk to people about come to temple, do some devotional service, chant some rounds, read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. They find it very, very difficult. And you ask them to come for a seminar, Kaun Banega Karodpati, who will be the millionaire tomorrow? Everyone will come. So they're very much interested in anarthas. And for arthas, they're very, very slow. Bhagavatam also says, Prayan Alpayusha Sabhya, Kalav Asmini Yuge Jana, Manda Sumanda Bantayo, Manda Bhagyahu Padata. So what does Manda refers to in the third line? They are not Manda. Materialistic people are very, very hardworking. But they are Manda in what? Bhagavatam says Manda in the interest in devotional life. They are very Manda. You ask them to come to temple. Arey, temple, Prabhuji, what are you talking? 2022, living in Sydney, looking after family, mortgage, blah, blah, blah. But ask them for any other thing. Come for a movie, come for a picnic, come for this and that. So that is called illusion. So we give importance to those things which are extremely unimportant or relatively unimportant. And what is unimportant, really unimportant, we give high importance to those things. So that is moha. And obviously that moha is due to Maya. Maya has put us in this situation where we are exactly opposite most of the time, if not all the time. So yadate moha kalilam, as Prabhu was saying, then you will cross over this. And fourth thing which we can take, this moha, as I said, we consider anartha as artha. So it gives us false hopes in the material world. False hopes means if I do this, if I achieve some position, if I achieve a certain amount of money, I will become happy. This is called false hopes. False hopes. You will never be happy just by achieving money. You will never be happy just by achieving a position. It's just not possible. Even if you become Brahma, even Brahma is not happy fully. We know that. So, Brahma Bhuvnat Loka, Punar Avartino, from Brahma Loka down to the earth, every living entity in the material world is suffering. So we think just by going to Swarga, we'll be happy. What's Swarga? Just by going to America, we'll be happy. just visa like that, huh? Just to get the visa, people queue up for days and days. I have heard in Hyderabad, no offense to anyone from Hyderabad, there's a visa wale Balaji. I've heard. So there's a temple of Balaji. People visit just to get the visa of America.
I used to be there, Prabhu. I went there.
That's how you end up in Australia, Prabhu. Krishna arranged very good for you. Anyway, so going to Balaji is not wrong, but for the purpose that, can everyone go on mute? I'm listening my own echo. Thank you. If you want to speak, obviously you can unmute yourself. So the point which I was trying to make, this material world offers us many false hopes. Just being in a situation, just by achieving something or someone will be happy. And all these movies, Bollywood, Hollywood, they're all offering the same thing. Just achieve this dress, achieve this position, achieve this rupa, achieve this intelligence, this and that. That's not going to make us happy. So this is very important for us. When our buddhi is sort of stagnant, fixed in Krishna consciousness, our hope for these false things, fake things, which are just advertisements, will gone away. Will not be attracted towards these things. Okay, this car will give me happiness, that car. No, actually, whatever works to spread Krishna consciousness, that car we need, that we need, those things we need. It's all in relation to Krishna, and then you can have the whole world, no problem. So this verse I really like. Kalilam. Illusory forest. And whatever you have heard in the Vedas, as Mantra was saying, in the past, or you want to hear in future that I have done certain yajna, I have achieved certain things by Vedas, and I will do some more yajnas to become happy. And the example actually given here is Raja Prachin Parishad in Bhagavatam. He was doing so many yajnas, killing so many animals, and he was doing Vedic sacrifices. He was a follower of the Vedic path, but what path he was taking? All the Karmakanda path. And Narad Muni showed him, although you are following Vedas, but this is what your situation will be. All these birds you are killing, they will come and bite you. And when he saw that vision, he got completely back to normal, actually, and he stopped doing all that. So Shota Veshasnasicha. Next one, 53. Let's just join us. We have Nidhi Mataji. Hare Krishna, Nidhi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. 253.
Yeah, so when your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. So I think in this verse, Krishna says that, when somebody is self-realized, at that time, they are not their mind is not agitated with the what's happening there in their surroundings. So yeah, Prabhu, I couldn't recall anything more.
Okay, no problem. Anyone else would like to add a few things? We can look at the Sanskrit. Actually, the Sanskrit gives us a lot, and you can look at the Sanskrit, no problem. What Prabhupada is writing, the meaning of those Sanskrit words, and then it's easy for us to expand on those things. So Shruti refers to. Okay, Achala is also there. Yep, that's a good word. Nishala. So what is going to be the Achala? Achala Buddhi. Thank you. Right now, our Buddhi is what? Chala Buddhi. Chalaiman. Chanchal. Very flickery. It goes here, goes there. Get this, get this. This is important. That is not important. I like this. I don't like this. So much Chanchal Buddhi is there. So much fluctuations are there. So our Buddhi in devotional life, it's most Achala. When you start chanting Hare Krishna, morning, afternoon, evening, whenever, all the thoughts come, all the tasks come into your mind. Only that time, all the tasks come. And I think when Maharaj was explaining in some class, he was saying, he was asked this question by some devotee. Maharaj, when I chant, only that time all the tasks come in the mind. because that's the most peaceful state I can ever get. So it happens with all of us. Our mind is most achala, and that's why we don't see the results so easily. But when we become absorbed in devotion, and you would have experienced those moments sometime at least, then you can actually experience Krishna, and the material things goes down, material distress goes down, material anxieties goes down. So achala buddhi is required. But how do you achieve that achala buddhi? Samadhava vachala buddhis tada yogam avapsyasi. Shruti vipratipanate. So our buddhi will become achala, not chanchal, not fleeting, only when we cross over. So for what? Shruti. Shruti is what refers to Shruti and Smriti we discussed. So Vedic flower language. You can read Prabhupada translation here. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery languages of the Vedas. Now this is Krishna is speaking flowery language of the Vedas in the time where most of the Brahmins were the. Nowadays, if you see our buddhi chanchal, not due to the flowery language of, we don't even know much Vedas, or to speak of knowing the Vedas, we don't even know the name of the Vedas. But that time, people were actually following the yagyas, lot of yagyas. Trishanku was so much keen on going to Sargaloka. Vishwamitra actually created another Sargaloka for him. He was back and forth. So his whole purpose was to go to Sargaloka because that's what he was told. He wasn't told there's anything high, like we have been told America is the best, for example. If not America, at least Australia. So we are all the second-hand mala. We couldn't reach to the top country, so we came to the second-hand country. But we are very happy. Radha Gopinath personally arranged that to be here. The point here is if no one tells you a higher thing, you just get stuck to that thing. So only if you know about the Swarga, you will try to go to Swarga. But now we are told by Prabhupada Mercy, no, there's much higher than Swarga. It's a spiritual realm where Krishna is waiting for you, and that is Shashvat. Swarga is not Shashvat. So this is also a very nice verse, and it talks about our target. Now, how to achieve the target? We haven't discussed too much the target. Buddhi should become achala. Achala in what? Fixed in consciousness. Now we finished the section here. Now, can I ask someone to tell how many sections we have done so far and which section we are going to enter into now? Maybe Sumit Prabhuji can tell if you remember.
Yes,
or
sir.
Mataji.
So Prabhuji, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, and the 5th section, which is Siddhadhir Muni, that is the one that starts from 254, which we started last week.
Look on the screen.
Oh, okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
So the
screen is the other side.
First section, I'm just talking. Okay, no problem. This Krishna's teachings. If you say so, this is 3 sections we have about the knowledge of soul, which countered the argument of compassion of Arjuna. Second section was Karma Kanda 231 to 238, where he countered the argument of enjoyment, where Arjuna was saying, I'll not be enjoying. Krishna said, no, by doing the yuddha, you will enjoy. By not doing the yuddha, you'll get papa. And the third section, which we're just doing right now, is Buddhi Yoga or Nishkam Karma Yoga. Different names are there, where Krishna is recommending to work in Nishkam Karma Yoga. Don't get too much bogged about these flowery languages. Vedas, come out of that and work in relation to the divine. Now, Krishna has not yet indicated that who is that divine being, how to achieve that and all that, but he's giving some indications there. And he's saying, Karmane Vadikaraste, Ma Phalesh Kudachan, and all those sort of verses. Try to come over. So what he's in the Karma Kanda, he's sort of countering himself in the next section and saying, work in Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now, the question of Arjuna is, okay, now you're saying work in Nishkam Karma Yoga. Can you give me an example of who is that Nishkam Karma Yogi? That question arises. So now the last section which we are dealing here is Arjuna is asking a question in 254. 4 questions he will ask, will come in a minute, and then Krishna will respond to those 4 questions in the subsequent verses. So this is the last section. He's giving an example. So Arjun, basically from Arjun's side, he can identify what you have explained in the last 15 verses. How would I identify that person? Okay. So everyone is on one page. We'll go back. 254. Now we have done this verse be. You're on mute, Mataji. Okay, Sumitra Mataji, Hare Krishna. Maybe she is not able to hear. That's okay. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, would you like to do 254?
Okay, Prabhu, I'll try.
Hare Krishna.
Arjuna Vacha Sthita Prajanasya Ka Bhasha.
Mataji, we can just read the translation and
Okay.
just some takeaway points.
Okay. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak and what is the language? How does he sit and what does he walk? How does he walk? So, like, this is the portion where Arjuna is asking for the example of who is this Buddhi yogi, or
Yes.
and he's trying to he's asking like what is the identity, or how does that person look like? How is the gesture of that person from Krishna, to understand more about, to go deeper, like what one person thinks and how does that realized soul act in a way. So that's my understanding, Prabhu.
Yep. Thank you, Mataji. So that's one question, what you explained, Ka Bhasha. There are 4 questions Arjuna is asking here. One is Ka Bhasha in the first line. In the third line says, Isthitiya Kim Prabhaset. Kim Prabhaset is the second question. Kim Asit is the third question. Vrajita Kim is the fourth question. So Bhasha refers to anyone? Bhasha? किस भाषा कौन सी भाषा बोलते हैं आप? Language. Huh? And what does other meaning of bhasha which we discussed last week? Language is bhashya. Thank you, Prabhuji. And bhashya means description. So bhasha refers to language, obviously, and one meaning, and another is bhashya. Bhashya means description. We read Govinda Bhashya, for example. So bhashya is description. So how do you describe that person, and how do you describe? So if you have to write, when we were young, we have to write the essay on the cow. Gaay par nibandh likhe. So what would you write in the essay on the cow? The characteristic of the cow. Cow has 4 legs. Cow is very gentle animal. Cow has 2 horns and all those things. So the characteristic of the cow. So that is called bhashya, description of the cow, you can say. So here he is talking not about the cow. He is talking about who? Isthita pragyasya ka bhasha. So what is the characteristics? What is the symptoms of this isthita pragya? So pragya refers to, anyone remembers pragya? I discussed about this word as well. So there's a generic meaning and there's expansion of the meaning as well. Bhakti Vijay Mataji.
Intelligence.
You're on mute. That is
Prajna
correct.
is intelligence.
But the translation
yes,
as per Bhagavad Gita is person who is situated fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so that is isthita. So fixed refers to isthita. Pragya, what Mataji is saying is correct. Pragya itself is intelligence. Isthita means one who is situated in that intelligence. So fixed in Krishna consciousness. That's correct. Anyone else? Some more expansion of the pragya. What Mataji and Prabhuji said is absolutely correct. So anyone else? Sumit,
two things, Prabhu. One is your current intelligence, and one is your past. So the current intelligence, your present intelligence is your buddhi, your pragya, and the past is your smriti, which is also part of it.
Thank you. So this is description given by Sarabham Prabhu. So I've just shared that last week, and Rupam Prabhu had a good note. Thank you, Prabhu. So Isprati is for the past, and buddhi, it refers to the present, and pragya refers to not only the present buddhi, it refers to vision as well. So buddhi is like we say buddhiman or buddhu.
Krishna, Prabhu, your voice is
buddhu means
breaking,
dumb. Buddhiman is very intelligent person. So pragya refers. Okay. Is it better now, Prabhu?
I think probably it's because of the connection. It's
Yes,
yeah, it's better now. It was better now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just look if my internet is back.
Yes,
I'll
Prabhu.
just check.
That'll be
You
good.
don't. Okay, Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Nice.
Prabhu. It's
Okay, my
very nice.
internet is back. Thank
Yes,
you.
nice and clear now.
Yeah, can you please repeat, Prabhu?
Okay, where I was. Okay, Buddhi. Yes.
No, Prajna.
Yes, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so we were discussing about Smriti refers to the past. Someone's Smriti is very nice. So whatever he has heard from his Guru Maharaj, Gurudev, he can remember exactly as it was. Buddhi refers to the present intelligence. And Pragya, Sarva Prabhu was saying, refers to not only intelligence, which definitely it means, but it refers to intelligence with a vision for the future, what I really want to do, where my life is going. So Pragya is not just the material intelligence we are talking, which refers to Buddhi. So Pragya can refers to intelligence by Shastra. I have a vision of where I'm going, where I need to go, what I should do, what I should not do. That's why the word here used is very nice. Sthita Pragya. One who is Pragya, intelligence is fixed in one thing. It's not Achala. It's not Chala, it's Achala. It's not going to multi branches, it's going to one. Eke hai Kulanandana, 241. So that's why this word is very nice. Sthit Pragya. Now, there are synonyms of this word used in this section. You can say Istadhir. The third line, the first one, Istadhir, Istadhir Munir. They're all refers to the same word, Sthita Pragya. So whatever different variations you will see in this whole section, they all refer to the one thing, Sthita Pragya, which is fixed in Krishna consciousness. He knows exactly what he has to do. He's not going here and there. He's not shopping around. You go for a window shopping. What is this? What is that? What is that? Oh, maybe this is nice. That looks nice on me. That will look nice on him or her, and this and that. No, he knows exactly what I need to buy. I need to get a milk. Go at 9 o'clock, buy the milk and get out. Get in and get out. Usually, Prabhujis go in and out, and Matajis go in and after some time get a phone call and then out, or other way sometimes. It happens both ways. So we know exactly what we need to do in the material world. We do that and get out. Prabhupada said, this material world is like a bathroom. And I think I gave the example. So when Mataji asked, but bathroom jana to padta hai, but you have to go to bathroom. Prabhupada said, that's fine, you go to bathroom, but don't stay over. Then you're not very intelligent. Go and get out. Do your business and get out. Now, if you're planning to stay back, people will not be calling you a very intelligent person. Where are you, Prabhu? I'm living in a bathroom these days. Bedroom, lounge room is okay, but living in there, yeah, not sure how comfortable you will be for a long time. For short time, okay. So, Sthit Pragya ka bhasha. So, bhasha ho gaya. Kim prabhashet. Prabhashet refers to how does he speak? How does he speak? And as we were discussing last week, speaking is a great culture. Whatever way a person speaks, we can judge his mind up to an extent. Now, obviously, when you hear the speeches of politicians, they're quite different than what their mindset is. So we're not talking about those, dualistic speeches, but we are talking his speech which refers to his mind. And Kim Asit, Asit refers to sitting, and Vrajet refers to walking, Vraja. Let's expand these words when they come. So 54 is a question. Of 55, Krishna starts responding. So I'll just refer to this PDF file, which does exactly. So symptoms, Krishna will respond in 255. His speech, he will respond in 2 verses 56 and 57. Sitting, he will respond in 6 verses, 258 to 263. And walking, he will respond in 9 verses. We'll see. Okay. So 255, we have done this as well. Rupam Prabhu, you would like to do this one?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind thus purified finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So, Prabhu, some of the words which, the notes that I have made, I've underlined Prajahati and Manogatan, which ultimately talks about when someone gives up their so Prajahati is to give up, and Manogatan is mental concoction. So when someone gives up all desire for sense gratification.
Prabhu, sorry to interrupt you. If you read the first line, you are able to translate yourself. Prajahati is giving up. Yada kaman. Kaman refers to desires.
Desires.
So give up desires. Now, which types of desire? Now, we all have desires, and we should have desire. We are not Buddhist, where we have to, where we are asked to give up all the desires and become zero, void. So first line says, Prajahati yada kaman. Buddhists will be very happy. Wow, the Hare Krishnas are like me. But the second line says, Sarvan, all the desires. Oh, Buddhists will be still very happy. Parth manogatan, the desires which are mentally concocted. What is the mental concoction here? Refers to
material.
Again, desires of false hopes. This material world will give me happiness. We all have this. I have it, to be honest. We all have it. The degrees are varying. Some people believe on this line, material world will give me happiness 100%. You ask them to come to temple or any devotional activity, forget it. They just don't have time for it. So they're 100% illusion, sorry to say, 100% illusion that their material acts will give them satisfaction and happiness. Now we are all struggling sadhakas. Now we also know this line, we believe this line, but maybe not 100%. Sometimes we believe it and then material world slaps us. Then we realize actually Shastra is correct. None of the desires, none of the projects alone, it's not none of the projects will be successful. None of the material projects alone will be successful unless they're attached with Krishna. With Krishna, the whole world is, for Krishna's enjoyment. We can have it, no problem. But this manogatan is very, very important. What does man refers to here? Contaminated mind. This is not purified mind, it's contaminated mind, which tells us constantly, Arey yaar, come on, watch the movie. What's the match? What's the problem? Come on, be normal. You're being so abnormal since the time you started going to temple. People complain, Arey yaar, be normal. Whenever, Sunday comes, you said, Sunday mandir jana hai, I want to go to temple. Whenever the holidays comes, you say, I want to go for a yatra. Whenever you have a festival, I want to go to temple, I want to service, this and that. Arey, be normal, man, be normal. So where does this normal definition coming from? Manogatan. Our mind is telling, people are telling, advertisement agencies are telling, this will make you happy, this will make you satisfied. Just get this car, definitely. Tesla version 3 must be better than your Toyota Corolla version 4 or whatever. So, and you buy Tesla 3, there's Tesla 4 in the market. By the time you maintain your budget to buy Tesla 4, there's Tesla 6 there. Never-ending series. Now, there's no problem with Tesla, but again, Tesla alone will make me happy. There we have problem. There we have problem.
Yeah.
Manogatan. Next, Prabhuji, you can read the Sanskrit.
Yeah.
You can translate.
So Atman.
Yeah.
Atmani eva
Evatmana
tushtaha. So Atman is soul. Your talks about the soul. Eva is certainly, and Atmana is by the purified mind. So, which, as you said, is.
So here's the difference, Prabhuji. So Manogatan, the first one was contaminated mind. The third line says Atmana, purified mind. So when the same mind gets purified, it turns inwards. So right now our mind is looking outwards. Outwards means looking outside in the material world, looking for pleasures, isn't it? What will give me pleasure? Let me get that. That is called Manogatan. But the same mind turns inwards. It becomes purified. Instead of looking at the outside pleasures, it starts looking at the inside pleasures. Inside pleasures again refers to Atma, the first word Atmani. So instead of looking outside word, looking inside word, which is Atma and its relation with Paramatma, and Bhakti, which is so sweet. So the same mind, when it looks inside, what's the result? Tushtaha, satisfied. It becomes satisfied. No other thing in the world gives us satisfaction. It can give us titillation. Titillation means temporary happiness. You eat something, you wear something, you hear your praises, Yeah, temporary happiness is there. Okay. But then what? Back to zero. Back to zero. But tushtaha will only come when atmani, your atmana will go to atmani. Atmana refers to the mind, goes to atma. When the mind goes outside in the material things, it will never be tushtaha. Never be tushtaha. It will always be asantushtaha. Asantushtaha. This is not good. That is not good. Let me correct this. Let me correct that. And by the correcting the whole thing, you'll never be able to correct everything. And even if you try, you eventually will be frustrated. And the higher the hopes you have outside, the higher the frustration. Huh?
Yeah.
Wherever there is asha, it says there is nirasha. Where is a hope, there's always some frustration. And higher the hope, higher the frustration. Huh? We all experience that in our life with our kids, with our parents, with our neighbors, whomever we love the most. If he frustrates us, we become very disturbed. Huh? Very, very disturbed. Because we have asha. We have some expectation from them. Huh? So it doesn't give a tushti. Tushti will only come when we serve the Lord and his devotees. And the last line, Rupam Prabhuji.
Prajnasya tadochate. So uchate is to say, and Sthita Pragyasya is the one who is situated in transcendence. So then whatever we discussed just now, it is said that sort of person is always situated in transcendence.
Thank you. And this is the answer of which question?
This is the answer. The symptoms.
Symptoms, which is in Sanskrit, ka bhasha.
Ka bhasha, yeah.
So what are the symptoms? In a nutshell, he has given all the desires which arise from mental concoction. That's one. And he has turned his mind inwards.
Yeah, his self-situate, like he finds satisfaction
inside.
Within inside.
Is it clear, everyone? So two characteristics Krishna has given in this particular verse. Very easy. Read the Sanskrit, you'll know. So I'm trying to feed some words in my mind, and in that exercise, someone else can also learn it. Okay, 256. Now, which is the next question? Ka bhasha was the first one. Second question is Kim prabhashet. Prabhashet refers to how does he speak? Now, this speech is not Miss Universe speech or Mr. Universe speech. This is not how the Hitler spoke and how does the first person of America speaks. This speech refers to, it's a very deep question. It's talking about his speech, which refers to his mind, because we only speak what we think. So 256 refers to his internal mind first, and then we'll talk about the speech. So 256. Charu Mataji, would you like to do?
Prabhu, I wasn't there last time.
Okay, no problem, Mataji. Who was there? Who would like to do? Raghavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and one who is free from attachment, fear, and anger is called a stage of steady mind. I'm sorry, Prabhu, I don't recall much.
No problem, Mataji. No problem. By hearing, we'll try. Who else?
I can try to speak, Prabhuji, on this one.
Mataji, please go ahead.
So in this one, Prabhuji, it's saying that one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries or elated, when there is happiness, or who is free from attachment, fear, anger, is called the sage of steady mind. Sage of steady mind, by that them trying to say Sthita Dhira Muni, the one whose mind is always stable and is not deviated from anger or happiness or distress, is always in the same on the same page, and always looking, being in Krishna consciousness, always his mind is stable. So he's never deviated.
Thank you, Mataji. So that's the explanation of third and fourth line, which you said was correct. First and second line as well.
Yes, and also whenever, even then, when he's happy, he gives the credit that the happiness is because of Krishna. And even when he is not happy, or when a sadness comes, for that also he thinks that it is something would be beneficial for me, and Krishna has a long-term plan for me.
Thank you.
So for everything he gives a credit to Krishna only, And he thinks whatever is happening is based on Krishna's will, and he's stable and not worried at all that Krishna is looking after me very well, and I should not be worried because he is the Supreme Personality and he'll be looking after me very well.
Thank you, Mataji. You gave the gist of everything. Krishna has a long-term plan for all of us. No, very nice. Just again to expand on it, let's pick up some Sanskrit words. What you said, Mataji, is absolutely correct. Again, for our understanding. So dukhesh refers to some sad, distress situations. Udigna. So udigna refers to agitated. So we all become agitated. Any time a dukkha comes, anyone who does not become agitated here, I become. Even when we perceive dukkha, it's not dukkha, when we perceive someone is going to attack on us, even verbally, we become offended, isn't it? We become alerted. We want to respond immediately. It just happens as a reaction. We read so much scriptures and we hear so many classes. Still, the response is always there, especially when we feel threatened. Verbally and definitely physically as well. So we become udigna, agitated. But this person is sthit dhir munir. Obviously, you can break this into three. So isthita, situated, firmly situated. Dhir, dhira, sober person. Muni, who's thinking. He's not a normal person. He's thinking. He's a thoughtful person. Isthit, he's a fixed in Krishna consciousness. Uchate, he refers to. So dukkhesh, when the dukkha comes, he's unudigna. He's not udigna. So one of the characteristics of this person is he does not get agitated when distress comes. So we can relate this sentence in our life as well, how much we get agitated. The less you get agitated, that means you are more fixed up in Krishna consciousness. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj gives very nice example. He says, we are all like a small boat. Our body you can compare as a boat, and it's in this material world, which is very vast and very dangerous ocean. So when this little dinghy is there, little boat is there in the big ocean, dinghy will always be tossing up and down, isn't it? Because the waves are coming. Sometimes waves are very harsh, sometimes waves are less. But if the same dinghy is attached to a big ship, although dinghy will be going up and down, but can dinghy drown in the ocean? No. So we have to attach this little boat, which we are all as a jiva, little jiva, with a big boat. Big boat, you can say Srila Prabhupada or Krishna consciousness. If we attach this little boat with a big boat, although the fluctuations will come and you will go up and down, some sickness will come, old age will come, some toothache will come. This will inevitably come to all of us. The hair will fall, they will become gray. All these things will happen, but they will not disturb you in your mind. So material world, you can't stop the waves. You cannot stop. But the disturbance can be avoided. Even some people are sick. I remember one past time I heard in the lecture, there's one very great Vaishnava from Vrindavan. He was very, very sick. So he went to the hospital. He had, 100 needles around the body and this and that. The whole body was looking like, so many needles he had and so much procedures were going on in his body. So another great Vaishnava, his disciple, he went to see Maharaj, and he said to Maharaj, he had a good conversation. He said, the Radharani will do good. Radharani will arrange everything. Like that, he said, that's a normal statement, whatever you're going through so much, and Radharani will arrange everything. So he said, is Radharani not doing good right now? He said, is Radharani not doing good right now? Now this another disciple was completely silent. He had no words to say. So that Vaishnava in the hospital, bodily suffering was a lot. So much treatment is going on. Inside, he's completely happy and satisfied. And even when someone said, someone wishes us, Prabhuji, you'll be well soon. Or Jagannath also, get well soon. We say that, get well soon. So, and we feel good if someone says, Prabhuji, you'll be fine, but you will be fine. That means you're not fine and you will be fine. So there's a difference. As Sonia Mata just now says, whatever Krishna is doing, it's for our benefit, even now. Now, how many of us realize that? That's a different question. But that Maharaj said, is Radharani not doing good right now? Big point of contemplation, big point of contemplation. Now, no one in normal world will even think about it, that this Vaishnava said something wrong. No, he said, Radharani will arrange everything, you'll be fine. So what do you mean by will be fine? I am fine right now. I'm in the most ecstatic state, Maharaj said. No, that only Maharaj can say, but good point for contemplation. So whatever is happening, every moment, we should not become udigna. You've lost the whole world, no problem. His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj said very nicely in his last seminar in Sydney, his opening statement, there's nothing serious in the world for which you should become too serious about. There's nothing serious in the world for which you should become too serious about. There's nothing so serious. We go to Maharaj, this problem, that problem, and it's like shant, completely peace. Oh, all right. So what happened? So, okay. Just by looking at the face of Maharaj, you'll become shant. Because he said there's nothing to be too excited about, nothing to be worried about. What you have gained and what you have lost. You become American president. All right. You have lost the presidentship. All right. There's nothing too big, nothing too big. But we think, oh, that's a big thing. Sripala Prabhu was saying, we value the things. Huh? Hugo Boss tie goes for $500. Another tie you can go in a Chinese shop, buy for $2. The label is different. They both made in China. Label is different because we value. This is Hugo Boss. Made by the same workers, probably in the same factory. Maybe some different specifications are there. I don't know. But the point is, we value the things. We value the car, $200,000, $2 million. We value it. The car is not worth that much. We value. That's a brand name. So we have to get out of this. And this is what Krishna is trying to teach here. Dukkhesh anudigna. So don't become agitated in dukkha, because if you have faith, my Father is with me. He is looking after me. Whatever he has done right now must be good for me. Not might be, must be good. I don't understand. That's another thing. But my Father is my well-wisher. Suhridam sarvabhutanam. Very important quality Krishna is teaching in 256. Sukhe Vikat is praha. Now, when the sukha comes, what's our tendency? Give me more, give me more, give me more. Anyone wants to take sukha away? Take it, take it, take it. No, give me, give me, give me. How much more I can get? Whether in terms of money, whether in terms of praises, a position, and how for how long we want to be sukhi for? Eternity. So Sukhesh Vigat is praha. But this yogi, Vigat is praha. Ispraha is desire. So we have desire for sukha. Vigat is gone. His desire for being sukha is gone. And when the dukkha comes, he's not udigna, he's not agitated. Great teaching. And the next line it says, Vita. Vita means again, he's out of raga, bhaya, and krodha. Raga is attachment, bhaya is fear, krodha is anger. So these three things, attachment, krodh, and fear should be given away. Now, how do you give it away? We'll talk later. Krishna is not giving as yet. Okay, this verse is very, very nice. I really like it. Now, it's a great verse. It can take lifetime to live this verse. Lifetimes, I would say. Not years, but very nice. When we are in that much situation, nothing will bother us actually. We'll be firmly situated. Okay, 257. Who hasn't done it yet? Divya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So translation, in the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. So Prabhu, we discussed, so it's the same answer Krishna is giving, and he spoke about sneha and anabhi sneha. So sneha is affection and anabhi sneha is without affection. So he is without affection in shubha and ashubha. So auspicious and auspicious and good and evil. And then we talked about the word nabhi nanditi. So he will not praise anyone. It's not that the person is not jealous. He only speaks Krishna Katha. So he neither praises someone nor is envious of anyone. He's equal in Shubha or Ashubha.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Mataji has given all the words translation. Very nice. So if we read the word translation, the shloka will become very, very clear to us. And it will be difficult, but we are all learning. We can try. And some words which you don't know, you can go down and see what Prabhupada is writing in synonym, what he's writing in translation. It will take a while, but you will see, you'll getting joy of reading these verses. They will not become burden. Many times shloka become burden. It becomes joy. Just read, sing, understand, and you can just meditate on it. And one day we'll be able to apply those verses, at least to an extent, if not fully. Thank you, Deva Mataji. 258. Did we do this one last week? No. Okay.
No, but we have to start from here.
Okay, we have to start from here. Okay, so that's nice. So far, let's go back here. So Krishna has answered two questions. One is for the bhasha, symptoms. which is 255. He has done the second one, Kim Prabhashed, 256 and 257. Now we're going to start the third answer, which is how does he sit? What's the Sanskrit word for sitting? Asit. Kim Asit. 254 was Kim Asit. So let's look into 258. Who would like to read it? We have Kanishka Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I don't know that I can translate this one well, but I'll definitely try it. Yada samharate chayam.
Yada samharate chayam.
Kumo, gosh, sorry.
That's okay.
Kurmo agnaniva savasaha.
Kurmonganiva sarvashaha.
Indriyani indriyatebhyas.
Indriyani indriyatebhyas.
Tasya prajna pratishtita.
Tasya prajna pratishtita.
One who is able to withdraw his senses from sense objects as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is the answer, the series of answers given by Krishna. How does he sit? So now, obviously, the sitting does not refer to his physical sitting. Does he have a back problem? Like I have a back problem. I have a back seat. I have to lean back and forth, get up after half an hour or something. So when we sit for 2 hours, oh, we have a knee pain. No, this is not talking about that sitting. Sitting means he refers to how does his mind does not get agitated. Sitting down calmly. When the children sit down, especially the very young children, Mama and Papa has to tell every single 10 seconds, just calm down, sit at one place. Sometimes I brush the teeth of my boy. He's constantly moving while I'm brushing. I'm like, can you please stay calm for 1 minute so I can do my job properly? They're constantly moving. You put the tilak and they're just moving. So this cannot sit. So our mind is also like that. It's not just the little kids. Adults are also like that. We cannot sit. So this sitting refers to how does he sit in this material world, which is full of temptations. How does he not get agitated? So first thing which Krishna is giving a metaphor here, Kurma. Kurma refers to, everyone knows that, Kurma avatar.
Tortoise.
Tortoise, Kurma avatar. This Kurma is a nice example picked up by Krishna. Here he's saying, Yada saharate cha ayam. So saharate refers to, you can read, and the translation of Prabhupada. I also read it like that. So winds up. Who winds up? Anga. Anga refers to limbs. Kurma refers to tortoise. So as the tortoise withdraws his limbs, you can read Kurma here. Anga sarvashaha means all the senses. What he does? Saharate chayam, he winds up. So whenever a threat comes on a kurma, on a tortoise, what does he do? He winds up all his senses and he goes inside the shell. Now I've heard, I've not tested it. His shell is almost impenetrable. You cannot penetrate the sense. It says even an elephant tries to crush the kurma, it cannot. The shell is very, very strong. That's how Krishna has given the protection to kurma, because his body parts are very soft. But whenever a threat comes, what does he do? Saharate chayam. What he does, he winds up all the anga which are outside to inside. So similarly, indriyani indriyarthebhyas. So normally what happens? Indriya refers to senses. Indriya artha refers to the sense objects. So what happens usually when you go out in the world? Nowadays, people going for vivid, I'm sure you will all have gone. We make the excuse that kids want to see, but we take kids for our purpose. So we go out and see, what are we seeing? Oh, this is nice light, this is nice building, this is a nice movie going on, and blah, blah, blah. We do all this. This is called sense objects. And our senses are attracted to sense objects. Is it clear? So senses and sense objects. We're not talking about the relation of the mind as yet. We're just talking sense and sense objects. So when we see the sense objects, what happens? Usually we get drawn over there. We see a nice billboard, if some sale is going on in Myers or David Jones, Mataji or Prabhuji will say, oh, look, there's a nice advertisement there, there's a sale going on. Immediately the attraction goes. And Prabhu, where? Oh, the bus is gone now. So the billboard is there. So our senses always get drawn towards that. But this person who is a sthita pragya, so Krishna is saying, how does he sit? Whenever he sees a threat refers to whatever is threatening to his Krishna consciousness. So whenever the threat comes, what does he do? Saharate chayam, he winds up his senses. So his senses are under his full control. हम लोगों के केस में क्या होता है? What happens in our case? When we see the sense object, we welcome. Oh, nice! There's a boat ride. There is a car ride. There is a aeroplane ride. Let's go to Honolulu and do this and do that. Krishna, there's so many things to do in the world. Huh? So we welcome the sense objects. Is it not true for all of us most of the time? We welcome. We don't think, oh, this is actually not good for my Krishna consciousness. One of my friend in Vrindavan, he lives in Vrindavan for a long time, and he was saying he doesn't have internet on his phone. He has a very old model of phone, and he was saying, if I get internet, how does it help me in Krishna consciousness? I need to know that. He doesn't check his emails for months. Now, how many of us can do that? We check our emails, every 30 seconds, even while class is going on. I'm sure you're looking at your phone here and there. Switch off the video, look at the phone. Some beep came a minute ago. So we cannot live without it. But I was thinking how much time he saves. World is still going on. He's dedicating his full life for Krishna, full life for Krishna. Once in a month, he checks for some purposes. And that's very nice. That's very nice. And now he's not a Gamwala village boy. He was a IT specialist when he was working in Australia. He was earning probably 150K a year. It's a big shot. He left everything and he's living in Vrindavan for the last 14 years. He left everything. He said, no taste now, no taste. And Krishna arranged very nice things for him. Just one example, and there are many more. So the objects which we are after, they have been that. He's Australian citizen, but he left all that. He has got a higher taste there. So yada saharate chayam. So Krishna is giving analogy here. As a kurma, as a tortoise withdraws the senses when a threat comes, this person also withdraws the sense. Now, kurma cannot just stay at one place for all the time, isn't it? He has to walk, he has to get his food. So similarly, we cannot just sit idle at home. Okay, if I go out, my senses will get distracted. I will not hear anything, I will not see anything, I will not talk anything. You can't do that. So you have to use your senses. But when you use your senses and the threat comes, what you will do? Withdraw. Now, what happens in our case? We get engaged. It happens other way. So slowly, a struggling sadhaka will realize this is a threat. Someone is criticizing a Vaishnava, someone is talking some mundane prajalpa and say, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, will come back tomorrow. Maybe later. I have some duties at home. I have to do something here and there. So whenever you see a threat, just withdraw yourself. Don't get engaged. For 2 hours you're talking to that person, so-called a devotee, and you are having so-called devotee association. And what's the topic of devotee association? How good I am, how bad are others. Many times it happens. Within our community, it happens. One devotee was taking a photo with your Guru Maharaj is not a devotee association. He was very blunt. Taking a photo with your Guru Maharaj is not devotee association. So what we speak of walking with other devotees, so-called, to this area and that area, and call that as a Krishna conscious activity. Now that activity may have a purpose, but we can't call it with a different name. Be honest. So we have to be very careful in our association. Anytime we feel a threat, withdraw back. We cannot stop in the word, but we have to know where to engage the senses, where to withdraw the senses. And that maturity is only present in a mature devotee. And that comes after long term of seva, service. When we have done long sadhana, long service, lot of hearing, we will know where to engage, where to disengage. So this is the nice example for that, a kurma. Okay. Next one, 259. Who hasn't? JP, Hare Krishna, Jai Prakash Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Would you like to read 259?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Vishaya vinivartante.
Vishaya vinivartante.
Niraharasya dehinaha.
Niraharasya dehinaha.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya.
Rasavarjam rasopi asya.
Param dristva nivartate.
Param dristva nivartate.
Though the embodied soul may restrict from sense enjoyment, the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This is one of the most famous verses in ISKCON, 1866, 259, 240. This is one of those series Everyone would have heard this verse, Param Drashta Nivartate. Very, very famous. So Prabhupada quoted this many, many times because this is so nice verse. So let's read the verse. Vishya vinivartante. So vinivartante refers to practiced, to be refrained from. So Vishya refers to Vishaya, Vishay, sense objects. So there's a Vishay for that. There's a subject for that in which we are interested. Like a movie comes out, a latest movie of Salman Khan, whatever, Amir Khan. So there's a Vishay for our eyes, for our ears. There will be dance, there will be some drama, there will be some romance, there will be some violence. So there's a Vishay for our Indriya. We are dying to see that, right? So, but what we read in the previous verse, wherever we feel a threat, is not conducive for our devotional life. Saharate chayam sarvashaha. So all the senses are disengaged, winded up. We leave if that's needed. So here, if you are practicing that like a kurma, vishya vinivartante. So you have been refraining from the sense objects, right? Nirahare se dehina. So dehi refers to shariri, dehi, not deha. Ragi Mataji saying something? Deha and Dehi, what's the difference? It's a very simple question, but still repetition helps.
Deha body and Dehi Atma.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. So here saying Dehi, not talking about Deha. So Nirahara se Dehina, it's very close to Hindi. Ahar means food. Nirahar means when we do Nirjala Ekadashi, sometimes Nirahar. Some people only do Sajala, some people do Safala. Some people do sa sabudana sa gajar ka halwa. So many sa are there on Ekadashi. So here we are talking about nirahar of dehi. That's important, not deha. You have to give food to your body because that's what our needs are. So talking about nirahara se kiska? To whom we are not giving food to? Dehi. So whenever Dehi feels attracted towards a sense object that acts like a food, right? You want to listen to music of, say, not in this assembly, but Michael Jackson. I don't know any songs, so don't ask me, but some people love it, right? This is a ahar for the ears, isn't it? Sometimes they want to taste something, some Domino's pizza or whatever. Now, I'm sure Escon pizzas are better than Domino's, but if you have that, what is the ahar of the tongue? That Domino's pizza. Ahar for the ear is same music or some Bollywood movie which you want to see from your eyes. So what is this? Ahar. So what we are talking about, nirahara se dehina. So you don't give ahar. This is one of the stages, pratyahar. We'll read in chapter 6 when we come to there. So nirahara se dehina. So what this yogi is doing, practicing vinivartante from vishaya. He's not giving ahar to the senses. You understand the first two lines? So this person, what he's doing, he's practicing. He's saying practicing not giving ahar to the senses, which are non-conducive for Krishna consciousness. Very clear, very, very simple. So what is happening, this is external, right? So whenever a billboard comes, which you think is not very conducive for my Krishna consciousness, you turn away. See, you can't walk in the world with blindfolded eyes, right? You cannot blindfold, oh, I will not see anything. No, you have to go out in the city, you have to go for shopping, but you see something which is not Krishna conscious. What do? You turn out. I think Sripalad Prabhu was saying, I think Rupa Prabhu said, Srila Prabhupada said that first time when you see accident, second time you are a rascal, something like that. Prabhupada said, so first time is accident. We all, have to see, we have to engage with many people and like that, but we don't get involved with them. So this person is practicing not to give ahar, not to give food to the senses, about the sense objects which are dragging us away from Krishna consciousness. Internally, what's happening? Ras varjam. Ras means taste. Rasana. This earth is also called. It is called loka called rasatal. Rasa, taste. So ras varjam. You have given up the taste externally. Like for example, I think someone was saying recently. Famous example. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, once he took mangoes, and his father Bhaktivinoda Thakur asked him, "Did you offer the mangoes?" So Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj, he was, I think, 4-year-old that time. He said, "No, I didn't offer. I didn't know." So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, he chastised his son in a nice way. "No, you must offer everything to Krishna, and then only you should take prasad." From that day onwards, from the age of 4, he took a vow. He never accepted mango throughout his whole life. Now, how many of us have done it, heard this pastime, and is still continuing eating those things? Eating is so important. what we eat, how we eat. It's a whole process. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj will not eat mango throughout his whole life, because at the age of 4, once, not many times, once he ate a mango which was not offered to Krishna. So here is saying Ras Varjam. Now imagine, just imagine for one day on Ekadashi, your boy, say 4-year-old or girl, whatever, is eating nice pizza, pasta, and some fried chips, and it's Ekadashi for you. Your mind will be agitated. Recently, His Holiness Devar Maharaj came, was giving class. I was hearing on Narsingh Chaturdashi. So Maharaj was just saying a simple humorous example. Maharaj said, suppose today we are all fasting, and I'm sure the younger ones will be eating in front of you. So, and you will get attracted. So although your tummy is rumbling, and you will see there's a lot of prasadam which kids are eating, but you can't eat it. You can't eat. So that's the difference between a grown-up and the kid. So you will see prasadam, you'll get attracted to it. Others are doing it, but what you will do, no, my tummy is grumbling. These people are having it. I can't have it. I can't have it. Not good for me. I'm following Narsingh Chaturdashi. I'm following Ekadashi. I have given my words. Whatever. I have to follow. Why? Because this is a protection for me. I have to follow. Now, who's going to check? Krishna knows everything. You know everything. So, Ras Varsham, you have given the rasa, rasopiyasi, but inside the taste is there, isn't it? You'll be attracted. Externally, you're not doing it, but internally you are. But at least start from the external. Shastra says start from 16 rounds. I'm not feeling like 16 rounds. You still start from 16 rounds. So you come to 16 rounds. Prabhu, but there is no quality. That's okay. You still maintain the quantity. One day quality will come. So Ras Varjam, you have given up the taste externally, rasopiyasya, but internally taste is there. How does it go? Param drashtva nivartate. Param drashta. Param refers to higher, drashta refers to the vision. Prabhupada writes here, higher taste. But this person who has given up the external taste, inside is still agitated about those things. A simple example, alcoholic is trying to quit alcohol, or a smoker trying to quit smoking. Initially, they give it up, but then the mind is agitated. Oh, when I'm going to have next one, when I'm going to have next one. Mind is agitated, but externally they know if they take it, doctor says no more alcohol, no more cigarette, or no more drugs, and whatever. So they have to stop, but inside they have still a lot of taste. So same with all of us, struggling people. We have a lot of taste for outside things, but we stop. So Ras Varjam refers to we have stopped tasting those things, but rasopiyasya, inside taste is still there. We still desire, we still hanker for those things. Till that time, param drashtva nivar, you don't get a higher taste. Now, what is this higher taste? Prabhupada gives a simple example. If you are after a meal in India, at least, Brahmanas used to eat something sweet. So you give them a sugar, or sometimes they will give jaggery, a piece of jaggery, because that's what villagers had. Now, instead of jaggery, if you give them nice Bengali good one, rasgulla, a good one, not that other one, the rubber one, a good one. Will they prefer that a piece of jaggery or a nice rasgulla? Probably rasgulla. So because it tastes much better. So when you taste a better thing, it tastes for lower thing goes away. But if you're always staying the lower platform, the taste of higher things will not go. Another example is also given when you have only one thing in your plate, for example, and that one thing is not very well prepared. It's uncooked, or it's very bitter, or salt is not appropriate. Would you like that sort of dinner? If you go to Hare Krishna temple Sunday feast with lot of expectation, and suppose it never happens, but Prem Sagar Prabhu forgot to put the namak in the sabji, you forgot to put the salt in the sabji, or sugar in the sweet rice. Externally, you may say, "Oh, Prabhu, very nice." Internally, how would you feel? You will not prefer that sort of meal, isn't it? But if the meal is cooked very, very nice, then you all prefer. So if you have only one thing in your plate, which is not very well prepared, you will not be attracted to take that meal. But if you have 20 things in your plate, for example, very nicely prepared, but only one thing is not well prepared, will you be still happy to take that meal? That is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness offers us so much in all the aspects. You talk about living, you talk about sleeping, you talk about money, house, car, intelligence, relations. This is the best Krishna offers. In every single field, Krishna offers the best. So now, if one or two things in your life not going very well, would you still be bothered about it so much? It's all right. It's all right. I have 18 good things. If 2 things are not good, who cares? But material people only have 2 things. Only eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. No, only say 4 things. Only 4-course meal they have. They keep changing their dress. They keep changing their car and house and this and that. They are never happy. But we have unlimited. Krishna is Akhila Rasamrata Murti, NOD says. Rupa Goswami says, Akhila Rasam. He has the sagar, the ocean of all the rasas in unlimited quantity. He can reciprocate the devotees so much, no one else can. So in that situation, when we have this relation with Krishna, which is called Param Drashta, higher experience, a higher taste, who cares about the other lower taste, isn't it? So we only have the taste for lower thing till the time Param Drashta Nivartate has not happened. We have not experienced the higher taste. Okay. Now I saw a hand earlier. Someone had it. Mahasa Prabhu, did you have it?
Yes, Prabhu, it was me.
You still
actually, maybe my question is in the purport, it is answered, but I was a bit confused because see, I'm just talking about the top on the what do you say, the synonyms for the words that are used in this verse.
Yes.
First is Vishya Vinivartante, that is the object of sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he's talking about Rasavarjam Rasopyasa. Okay.
Yeah.
Then it talks about Param Drishtva Nivartate, right? And it's a Niraharasya Dehina. Now my question here was, Vishya is material, body is material, right? The taste and the senses, they are also material. Right? Then why did Krishna use this word Dehina? Because Dehina with soul does not have any sense objects, it does not have any taste. So how come this word is used in this? This is very confusing, and that's what I was thinking. But then eventually when you talked about Param Drishtva Nivartate, then Prabhupada actually goes on to explain the purport is that as long as the person is on a bodily platform, all these things keep affecting. But the moment when a person understands his real goal of life, which is actually is not the body, is the soul, and then he finds the real taste in Krishna consciousness, which with the soul is satisfied, then actually all these things are useless. That's what Prabhupada went on to say. This is what my understanding is. So that's why then I put my hand down. Sorry, Prabhu.
That's okay. No, perfect. I'll just add one more thing because you have brought up a very good point. All these things are material, but the senses are material, the taste is material, the tongue is material, and all the flesh, everything is material. But actually, soul is experiencing sukha through death. And the reasoning is a dead body does not taste a rasagulla. A dead body, you praise a dead body, you garland a dead body, you give a Nobel Prize to a dead body, does not taste anything, you hit a dead body, does not hit you back. But a live body does all these things. So actually, it's the Dehi who is experiencing pleasure or pain. Dehi, eventually. No? Again, it's all misdirected, it's illusory, but this is what the Dehi is experiencing. The word you use is perfectly correct. Deha, what your Deha will experience, Prabhuji? Nothing. Your Deha is dead, right? Your body is dead. Dead cells. Only because you have Atma, your Deha is experiencing something. That the moment Prabhupada said this Dehi goes out, you beat the body, you garland the body, you do anything to the body. Body does not respond. Oh, my father, my grandmother used to love Rasgulla. Now she is dead. Let me offer her lots of Rasgulla. She will not taste any Rasgulla because the Dehi, the important part of that body, is gone. Okay. So Dehi is experiencing Sukha or Dukha, both. Huh? Is it okay? Okay, let's move to the next one. This is very important verse. And that's what Prabhupada, one more thing I wanted to add here. It says, Param Drashtva Nivartate. Drashtva refers to vision. Huh? So that vision we have to get. It does not always refer to a physical taste. Although it's not restricted to the physical taste, Hare Krishna food is the best food in the world. That we can say undoubtedly. We may be attracted towards other forms of Krishna consciousness or maybe not. But one form which attracts all of us, good prasadam, isn't it? Whether you've been here for 6 months or 20 years or 50 years, no one can deny this is the best of Krishna consciousness. Now we should take in a sensitive way, whatever suits your body, but we all love it. We all love it, isn't it? So it's a drashta. Drashta refers to that vision we need, not just a seeing. Drashti, vision. And Prabhupada writes that taste. That taste, again, it can be an internal taste. You know exactly what fulfills your heart, not just the mind. Now, fulfillment of the heart and minds are different. Fulfillment of mind is some flickering pleasure. Your mind is agitated. A bad example of alcohol, you drink a glass of alcohol. For that moment, you feel, maza aa gaya, huh? So nice. But the next moment, your heart is not satisfied. It's empty. It's full of guilt. And the doctors are telling something else. Huh? So your heart is not satisfied. Mind, maybe for a moment or two or a night, satisfied. Huh? So this gives that vision to us, that taste to us. Okay, 260. Who has not done as yet? We have Mohit Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Like 260.
Yatato hi api konteya.
Yatato hi api konteya.
Purushasya vipashchita. Indriyani pramathini.
Indriyani pramathini.
Haranti prasapayam manaha.
Haranti prasapayam manaha.
The senses are so strong and impulsive, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind, even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them.
Yeah, so here Krishna is talking the importance of controlling the senses. So yatato, yatat refers to yatna karna. In Hindi is a word called yatna, endeavoring. Prabhupada writes, while endeavoring. Hi api konteya refers to obviously Arjuna. Purushasya vipashchita. Anyone remembers the word vipashchita earlier? Avipashchitaha. Vipashchita means discrimination. So the person who is able to discriminate is called vipashchitaha. Discriminate again, what is good for me, what I should do, what I should not do. So this person, talked in the verse, is he's vipashchita, purushasya vipashchita. He is able to discriminate, and he is trying, yatato hi api konte, and he is trying to control his senses. Indriyani pramathini, pramath balvadram. The same verse is used in 6th chapter. Chanchalam himana krishna paramathi balvadram. Pramathi also used in Srimad Bhagavatam. Pramathi means very strong. So indriyani, the senses are very, very strong. Haranti, har leti hai. They take away. What they take away? Manaha. They take away the mind. How they take away? The prasabham. Prasabham refers to forcefully. So indriyani or pramathini, senses are very, very strong, and they can kidnap the mind by force, even to the person who is vipashchitaha, who is able to discriminate, and who is yatanta, who is trying. So what this verse is basically saying, indriyani, our indriya, our senses, because at this stage they are not purified, they are contaminated, they are so strong. If you don't control them in a planned way, everything you have to do in a planned way. We have a fire exit plan. We do some fire evacuation testing in our offices. Sometimes we have to go down 20 floors down just for the testing purposes. There's a plan. If emergency happens, what you're supposed to do, everyone should be aware of that. This is the exit door. There you're going to go down the stairs and all assemble at one spot. This is your fire warden. So all these things are done in a planned way. So if you don't plan to control your senses, what can happen? Indriyani pramathini. They are like uncontrolled, unbridled horses which can take away. What they can take away? Your mind. Your mind is supposed to be a rein which controls the horses. If you remember that picture, Prabhupada asked his disciples to make. So there's 5 horses, there are 5 senses. The rein is the mind, and who's the chariot driver? Is our intelligence, and who's the passenger? Is the Atma. So we are traveling that chariot, which is run by 5 horses, which are the senses. Now imagine if the chariot driver is not very strong. Horses are very strong, senses are very strong. Mind is also like a rein, and all the horses going here and there in this different directions. Will you be successfully reaching to your destination? No, you'll be gone. Very soon you'll be gone. So your indriya, the horses, are very strong. And they're so strong, they can prasabham manaha. They can forcibly take away the mind. Even for those person who is vipashchita. This point is very, very important. So don't believe your senses. It says in 11th canto in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is speaking to Uddhava. Vidwanam apikarshayati. Vidwan means a very scholarly person, a very knowledgeable person. Apikarshati. So you should not trust your mind. Even the scholarly person get attracted to sense objects. So you should not unnecessarily expose yourself to those areas where you are weak in. Now, everyone's weaknesses are different. So some people are weak in calm, some people are weak in krodh, some people are weak in illusion. So calm, krodh, lobh, moh, mad, masar, all these 6 illusions, 6 different anarthas we are having in different degrees. So we should not unnecessarily expose ourselves to those particular areas where we will be dragged down, because indriyas are very, very strong and they can drag away our mind to the bottommost. Is it clear? Don't think I'm a devotee for 20 years. Nothing happens to me. Let me watch a movie. Prabhuji, nothing happens. No, don't watch it. The impressions will be generated. Impressions will be generated. Even not, if not externally, internally. Many examples come to my mind. I'll just stop here because it happens with all of us. So as much as possible, we should try to control with vipassita, with discrimination. Okay. Next one, 261. We have Kanika Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Like to do 261?
Yes, Prabhu. Tani sarvani samyama.
Tani sarvani samyamya.
Yukta ashita matpara.
Yukta asita matparaha.
Vashehi yasya indriyani.
Vashehi yasya indriyani.
Tasya pragya pratishtita.
Tasya pragya pratishtita.
One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence.
Okay, so previous verse, we were talking about the importance of controlling the senses in a planned way, because even a person with discrimination, senses can be dragged away. So this one here is saying, if you continuously do that, what happens? If you're trying to continuously control, what happens? So there's 3 stages described in this particular verse. 3 stages. The first stage is Tani Sarvani Sanyamya. Sarvani refers to? Anyone? Very simple word. Sarva. Sarva Akarshak. All. Okay. Sanyamya. Sanyama refers to regulation. So all the indriyas, if you are regulating, that means you are trying to control. The result hasn't come yet, right? You're trying. So wherever you start a project, you try to do it, right? The result hasn't come yet. So Tani Sarvani Sanyam, this is the first stage. Now, how can I always be controlling my senses? This is very difficult. It is definitely very difficult. How can you control your senses all the time? Krishna gives the solution. Second line, Yukta asit matparaha. Mat paraha. Mat. The first time, this 261 is the first verse in Bhagavad Gita which gives the indication of Krishna. Mat, me. Krishna is saying, Mat paraha, parayana. So if you rely on me, then you can control. On your own, it's not possible. On your own. And the example Prabhupada gives in the purport of Vishwamitra Muni. Everyone knows Vishwamitra Muni past times. He was a big yogi doing a lot of tapasya, but Indra sent Apsara from Sargloka and he got distracted, at least for some time. And he repented later. Just a simple example. Now we should not think otherwise about Vishwamitra Muni. He's a very big Muni. He became the spiritual master of Lord Ram. But an example is given for our learning. So he was a very big yogi, very, very powerful, but he also got distracted, isn't it? He was trying, he was doing tapasya. So if you look at the previous verse, he was doing yatan, he was doing endeavoring. Yes, he was a person of vipassita. He was able to discriminate. He was not enjoying his senses. He was doing tapasya in one. He was doing the forest, doing some great austerities. 10,000, 20,000 years, great austerities. Even then, he got distracted. So what to speak of us? Ajamil, very nice boy. He went to the jungle. What happened? He went to the jungle for a good purpose. He was trying to bring some flowers and some wood for his father's yajna. He was a very nice person. He was follower of Vedas. He will never speak a lie. One sight scene. Imagine our situation in Sydney 2022, going out to Sydney city, how many scenes we see, how many of them, and we all have to work. So how are we protected then? If Ajamil was not protected, we are protected only by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Believe me or not, only because of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we are protected. And the moment we leave it, we are gone. We are gone. And we have examples in Shastra. We are gone. So no matter how intelligent you are, how much Vedas you know, how many shlokas you know, but if we leave that shelter, we are a gone case. So in this, Krishna is telling the pathway of going in a constant long journey. What is that long journey? The first thing is you should constantly endeavor to do sanyam, to do regulation all the time. But how can you do it? It's difficult. Yes, because you need something higher. So Krishna said, Yukt asit matparaha. Matparaha, you relate with myself, you take me with you on your journey. Journeying alone in the material world is extremely difficult. It is difficult. Huh? So what will be the result? Vashehi Asindriyani. So you can say, if you buy me as a companion, what will you get? Vashehi. Then you will be able to control. The first line says you're endeavoring to control. Huh? The result hasn't come. Like a Mataji goes in the kitchen to make a sabji. And Prabhuji say, oh, where's the sabji? I have just entered into the kitchen, isn't it? I'm just gathering my ingredients. I'm washing the vegetables. I'm cutting the. It will take some time. Be patient. Just wait for half an hour. Prasadam will be ready. So first thing is you go gather the things. You put them in a nice order and you start endeavoring. Then he's saying you endeavor with Krishna, and then Vashehi. Then you will be able to control. And then Tasya Pragya Pratishtita. That person is known as Pragya Pratishtita. Is it okay? So 3-stage journey can be successfully done only with the company of Krishna. Without Krishna, we are not able to do on our own, no matter how strong you are. And Prabhupada gives next example. So one Prabhupada give a negative example of Vishwamitra Muni, one give positive example. Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindyo. We all know this. Maharaj Amrish, I will not say the full pastime. He was able to do, he had many queens. He was the king of the whole world. He was a powerful king. But what he was able to do, he was able to control all his senses with the help of Krishna. Every single sense was fully controlled. And look at the case of Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni is much higher in terms of Varna and Ashrama. He's a sannyasi, he's a yogi, very, very powerful, very powerful. But he was not Matparaha. Was he Matparaha? No. Although on the other hand, Maharaj Ambarish, he was a king, a nice devotee. He controlled his senses through Krishna's help. He was Matparaha. Durvasa Muni was not Matparaha. So we can see very clearly in Shastra when we give the example, we can be very powerful entity in the world, but time will take you away. Mrityu Sarvharashaham, I'm the Mrityu, I'm the death. But devotee never dies. It says, Ebu Jasa Goshak Tribhuvana. Prabhupada glories are sung in all the 3 worlds, all the time. It says every time we worship Prabhupada, for example, in the morning, 7 o'clock, 7:15. When we stop worship, somewhere else in the world, Prabhupada worship is still going on. So that's the glory of a devotee. Where's the glory of Sikandar? Where is the glory of Hitler? Where is the glory of other so-called entities? It's all gone in time. Prabhupada, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Gajendra, their glories are never gone, because they are Matparaha. So if we also become Matparaha, then we will be able to control. Otherwise, we'll do it for some time, like Vishwamitra Muni, but then we'll break down. Chalta hai, it's all right. You've been practicing for so long, you need a break, mate. Take a break, come out. Come out. No. As soon as you come out, you're finished. Sorry, you're finished. And all of us in different areas, we get finished by Maya very easily. Maya just laughs at us. But if you are with Krishna, you are engaged in Krishna's service, then you are not finished. You go up and up and up. And without that, you go down and down and down. Very nice verse. Matparaha, Maharaj Amrish, we can remember. Very easy. Matparaha is Maharaj Amrish. Durvasa is not Matparaha, although very powerful, higher, materially speaking. Okay? Good. 262. Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna, if you like to do.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yes.
Ayato Vishyan Pumsa.
Ayato Vishyan Pumsa.
Sangasteshu Pajayate.
Sangasteshu Pajayate.
Sangat Sanjaya Kama.
Kamat Krodho Vijayate.
While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
Thank you, Mataji. Before I start into this verse, what we'll do 263 as well, and we'll come back on this one.
Krodh.
Yes, Mohit Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Mataji want to read.
Yes, okay.
Krodhat bhavati sammoha.
Krodhat bhavati sammoha.
Smriti Vibrama.
Sammoha Smriti Vibrama.
Vinasho.
Simriti Vamsad Buddhi Nasho.
Buddhi Nasha Pranashyati.
Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
Thank you, Mataji. So 262 and 263, they are sort of together verses, and again, one of the most popular verses. So these two verses explains. One more thing I would like to do, related back to the 261. So what was 261? We just discussed. So if we try to control the senses, what will happen? By being mattaraha, we will be able to control the senses, right? So there's a positive path. Now, if you don't try to control the senses, what will happen? So Krishna is giving two paths. One is going upwards, positive. So you're trying to control, you become mattaraha of Krishna, then you'll be able to control. That's one positive path. Another one is, if you don't try to control, what will happen? So these are the two verses of the negation of the same principle. Okay. So dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. So pumsaha refers to human beings. All of us are pumsaha. So vishayan refers to vishay, sense objects. Dhyayato refers to contemplation on sense objects. So where does it start? Contemplation. And what are we contemplating on? Vishaya. So eyes want to see something, ear wants to hear something, tongue want to taste something, legs want to go somewhere. So all these things we start contemplating on. Whenever we have to go to a place which we have never been, suppose kids' holidays are coming, people are already planning to go somewhere which they have never seen. So first thing, how do you start? You start contemplating where you have to go. You are going to some remote place in Australia. What is that? Alice Spring, for example. I've never been. Now you got the idea where to go next holiday destination. Anyway, so Alice Spring or wherever, Perth or this and that. So you start contemplating, and then you start going on internet and looking for the what are the attractive places there, and then you start to get the flights, you start to get the accommodation, and the whole project unfolds. But the first thing started from contemplation. I want to go here, I want to go there. Something which this place will offer me, which I don't have it as yet. That's what people think. Not that there's anything new there. It's exactly same thing. Bhakti Maharaj was saying very nicely, when we go to a different spot, we do exactly same thing. That's what Maharaj said. You eat, you sleep, you go to a bathroom, blah, blah, blah. But the environment is different. The environment is different. You are going to bathroom in a nice sophisticated hotel, for example. Activity is exactly same. Maharaj was telling very nicely. Because the environment is different, and that's why it's not sustainable. Because the activity is exactly same. After 4 days, ab ghar jana hai. We want to go home. Enough of this hotel and all that. Because activity does not change. You still have to sleep. You still have to eat something. You have to do all your regular activities. So it all starts from dhyayato vishayan pumsa. So the pumsaha, the human beings, start contemplating on something which they think is beneficial. So what happened? Sangastesh upajayate. Upajayate refers to develops. Sanga refers to attachment. Through the contemplation, what happens? Attachment develops. And you see this Coles and Myers and all that, they're very good in advertising. They send this PDF file on your phone itself. Somehow they get your phone number, email address, and they send on your phone. They send all types of advertisements, half price, 40% off, 30% off. So what are they sending? All these offers, sending. And then you screen through all this catalog, and one or two things you will find, oh, this is very nice. Let me go to Kohl's. And you go and buy, you go to buy a $2 thing, you end up shopping for, $80. This happens with all of us. Oh, ye bhi acha hai. This is also good. That is also good. Let me buy that. Let me buy that. This will be useful for later. And you end up buying so much, and you come home. There's no place to keep the things now. Dhyayato vishayan punsaha. And then attachment develops. From attachment, sangat sanjayate kamaha. Kama refers to the desire to enjoy develops from there. Prabhupada writes, lust develops. Desire refers to lust here. Sangat sanjayate kama. And from kama, from the lust, if lust is unfulfilled, suppose you have made a whole plan to go to Alice Spring, or somewhere, and your plans get disrupted, will you be upset? I was going to go, but I could not go. I remember my manager was going to Gold Coast for some holidays or something. So he did his COVID test during the COVID. I think lockdown was slightly partially open. So, but he had to get the result. So he made the whole plan. He booked his flight tickets, accommodation for the whole family. The whole family went to the airport, but his COVID test did not come on time. So the flight people would not let him board the flight. So he had to come back. After 1 week, when the holidays were over, his COVID result came back as negative. So he was so upset about this. My whole holidays were gone. Just thinking about it, I wasted the whole planning was done, spent money, spent time, but he could not go there. So he was upset. Why he was upset? Kama krodho abhijayate, because his lust, his desires were not fulfilled. Let's read the next one. We'll come back to this one. Krodhat, again, continuation from here. Kamat krodho abhijayate. The krodha develops, the anger arises. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. So moha, we already discussed today in the earlier version. Illusion. Sammoha refers to complete illusion. Like we have kirtan, we have sankirtan, samyak kirtan, complete kirtan, complete glorification of Krishna. So we have sankirtan, sammoha. So complete illusion. And Prabhupada writes says delusion, complete delusion arises. Like you're not in your senses. Like someone was explaining, if someone has taken 1 glass of drink, you know which drink I'm talking, and you ask after that drink, sir, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. He has taken 10 glasses of drink, and after then you ask, and he is, going here and there, falling down on the street, and you ask him, sir, are you okay? What he's going to say? I'm all right. I'm all right. Is he all right? He's completely gone. He has no idea where he's lying down in the gutter. He has no idea whether he has his clothes on, where his wallet, where his mobile. He has no idea. But what he's going to say, I'm all right. I'm all right. Sir, you need help? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he wake up in the morning lying in a gutter. Oh, I'm lying here. How did I come here? But before 4 hours, he was saying, I'm all right. So this is called delusion, complete delusion. You ask a living day. I went for book distribution to Manly Beach with some of the devotees many years ago. And I approached a young girl and I asked, would you like to take a book? I think it was Perfect Question Answer or something like that. Can't remember. So she said, no, I don't want it. I said, this book will make you happy. She tells me, I'm already happy. I had actually no response for her. I came back without distribution, obviously, but I was laughing inside my mind. Are you really happy? She was having some meat in a restaurant and, going with the friends. She didn't take the book, obviously, but I didn't have response that time. But she was saying, I'm happy. So this is called delusion. Living entity thinks I'm completely happy. I don't need anything else. Okay, so krodhat bhave sammoha. Sammoha smriti vibhrama. So from sammoha, from this delusion, what happens? Smriti. Smriti refers to our memory, or smriti can also refer to smriti shastra. So our memory, smriti, is supposed to keep smriti. So our smriti, our memory is supposed to keep what? Smriti, shastra in our mind, because shastra is our guideline. Shastra gives us guide what to do and what not to do. In this case, what has happened? Because of delusion, this person is completely delusioned. Smriti vibhrama, all his memory is gone. All his memory is gone. When the memory is gone, smriti bhranshar buddhi nasho. When the memory is gone, your buddhi, intelligence again is telling you what to do and what not to do. Prabhupada says, when you are staying on the top of a 50-story building on a terrace, your mind says jump, your intelligence says don't. Your mind says jump, maza aayega, skydiving, free skydiving. You don't have to pay $300 for skydiving. Get the experience for free, but intelligence says no, you'll break your legs. Probably lose your body as well. So smriti bhranshad, when your smriti is bhransha, is gone, buddhi nashat, your nash, destruction of buddhi, intelligence. And when the intelligence is lost, buddhi nasha pranashyati. You remember in 9th chapter, there's a verse, mad bhakta na pranashyati. My bhakta, my devotee never perishes, but this person perishes. And Prabhupada writes, he falls down into the material pool. So these 2 verses are a very famous couplet. I'll show you a diagram. It's not made by me. It's made by His Grace Tyag Chaitanya Prabhu. and I can share that. This diagram is based on 262 and 263. This tells us the 8 stages of fall down of a living entity into material world. So what is the first stage? Thinking stage. So it all starts from thinking, and that's why they say if you can nip the bud in the initial stage, it's very, very easy. You already gone the journey, you already gone to the airport, then for you to come back is difficult. But if the initial thought itself can be controlled or ideally dovetailed, then it's very, very easy. So it starts from thinking. What was the Sanskrit word? Anyone can say? Dhyato. It's not saying drashyato. Drashyato means dekhna, to see. Seeing has no problem. Sannyasis also go all around the world. His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, he has his name in the Guinness Book of World Record. How many air miles he has traveled? No one can travel that much. Maharaj is in the air more than the ground. How is he doing all this? Is he blindfolded? He's not looking at the passengers? No, he's looking, he's talking to many people around the world. But dhyato. So drashyato is not a problem. Seeing is not a problem. Dhyato is the problem. Ajamil started doing dhyan, contemplation. When he came back home, he was still looking at the prostitute. No, he was not looking at the prostitute. He was thinking about the prostitute. So when you look at a catalog from Myers, you get attracted. What you should do, come back home and start thinking about it. Go on the internet. Oh, let me look at that. It was very nice. Nowadays, it's so easy. Previously, it was difficult. Nowadays, so easy. You come internet, go on the Google. Even sometimes I get surprised. How does Google understand? I literally type 3 letters and the whole thing comes up. It's just amazing. So easy. You just type it and Google knows based on your past searches, obviously. So thinking, it all starts from dhyayate vishayan punsaha. What's the second stage? Sangasteshu pajayate. And then it becomes feel. Actually, that dress will look very nice on me. That car, then I will drive. I can impress all the people of my street. So feeling stage. And that's the way they say, just come and test drive. Come and test drive. Doesn't cost you anything. Just show the license. You can test drive the new Tesla. Feeling, because then you can feel your attachment has developed with Tesla. They are very smart, actually. They have stolen the principles from Bhagavad Gita. First, they show in the advertisement. You start thinking. They say, come, test drive. You go in the fitting room. You can change. You can have the dress, no problem. Mataji, Prabhuji, all welcome. Go in the change room. You can take 8 different types of dresses. They will give you a counter. You see, oh, I'm looking good, actually. I'm looking good. This is the feeling. You feel it. You feel it. Then what happens? Dhyate Vishanpuja Sangas Sangas Sanjayate Kama, that desire develops. Actually, it's only $250. It's not so bad. And I have American Express, $30,000, no problem. The Kama has already arisen in your heart. Lust here refers to the enjoying mentality. Now, I have to get this dress. And if someone comes and stops it, whoever, calls, oh, why $250? We don't have to spend this $250 on this particular dress. We already have so many dresses in the house. Krodha comes and the fight happens, disagreement happens, quarrel happens. One party is saying, no, I must have the dress, and another saying, no, you don't need the dress. Kama, krodho, vijayate, because the lust was unfulfilled. And if the lust is fulfilled, what happens? Greed comes. I played a lottery for $100. I got $1,000. Oh, it's very nice. Let me put another $100. I was actually watching something on YouTube yesterday. There's an advertisement coming. Before the video, they give some advertisement, and I saw this Chinese man, just a 20-second advertisement. He was sitting somewhere, a laborer actually. He was sitting with a coke cane or something. He was drinking the cane. Somehow he was sitting against, leaning against a wall. And wall had little hole, a shutter. Actually, it was a shutter. So his cane went inside and 2 canes came out. So he was like, wow, it's nice. So he threw something else he had in his hand, eatable things. He threw that also 2 came out. Then he threw, I think, $100 bill. That also came out with, $1,000 bill. Then he threw all $1,000, his phone, his gold chain. He threw everything inside and the shutter got closed. I just saw this advertisement yesterday. And he was crying like anything. I don't know what they were advertising for, but this is the advertisement I saw yesterday. So this is what happens to all of us. This material world offers us, we think, oh, ek ke saath ek free, buy one, get one free. Just buy. Shop till you drop. because karma has come in our mind. And with that karma, what happens? Karma krodha vijayate, krodha bhavati sammoha. And with krodha, 263, I'm talking here, the fifth stage, krodha bhavati sammoha. Then delusion arises. Sammoha, smriti vibramaha. Smriti vibrama, bewilderment of the memory. Smriti bhranshad, buddhi nasha. Buddhi refers to intelligence, loss of intelligence. Buddhi nashad, pranashyati. And then one falls down to the gross material existence. So all it starts from where? Dhyayato. So what we should control our dhyan. We're not talking about stopping going in the world. We're not talking about not speaking with the non-devotees. No, dhyan should be in Krishna. Mat paraha. If you are mat paraha, you will go vashehi yashendriyani. You will be able to control your senses. But if you are not mat paraha, this is what's going to happen to us. So 8 stages of fall down, which Krishna explains very nicely. Okay, let's go to 64. Now 64, again, we come back to the positive. So Krishna is very nice, very nice teacher. He tells a principle, he tells a positive path, he tells a negative path, and he comes back to the positive. So after 2 jerks, he gave like a little jerk. See, if you don't control your senses, you will fall down in the material world. Now, if you are able to do it, you remember 261? What was the final result? With Matpara, the final result was you will be able to control your senses. If you are able to do that, the 264 actually is a continuation of 261. 262 and 263 just gave a sideline, just a little hint. If you don't do it, this is what is going to happen. So 264, continuation from 261. Charu Mataji, would you like to read? Very nice verse.
Ragadvesha vimuktaisthu.
Ragadvesha vimuktaisthu.
Vishayan indriyascharan.
Vishayan indriyascharan.
Atma vashair vidhetyatma.
Atma vashair vidheyatma.
Prasadam adhigacchati.
Prasadam adhigacchati.
But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So what is the final result? If you become Matparaha, able to get complete mercy of the Lord, because this is what we are looking for. So how you are able to do that? Again, go back to 261. You try to control your senses. Take help of Krishna, you will be able to control the senses, and the end result will be prasadam adhigacchati. Now, prasadam here does not just refer to the prasad that we eat. Prasadam it refers to the mental satisfaction which we get by being with Krishna. So again, look at the verse here. Raga dvesha vimuktaisthu. So the previous person had the kama. You remember, he had the kama, he had the lust. So here it's saying raga dvesha. Raga is attachment, dvesha is aversion. So we sometimes like few things, sometimes we dislike. It says mind is only doing 2 things, sankalpa and vikalpa. Raga dvesha vimuktaisthu. You are vimukta, visheshena mukta. So we has different meanings at different places. Here is Vishesha Mukta, completely Mukta from the heart. You're not hankering for anything. You're not disliking anything. Vishayan, Indriya Sharan. So Indriya Sharan, you remember in the previous verse, verse 53, where Arjun is asking, sorry, 54, Arjun asked his first question, Kim Asit Brijeta Kim. So he's talking about Charan. Charan means Chalna, to go. So Indriya usually goes towards Vishaya. That's what the default setting is, at least at the moment. Our default is also not default. Our default, I should say, in a conditioned state. Our default is as soon as we sense objects, we go towards that. But this person is vimukta from raga and dvesha. He's not looking forward. He's not averting. He's not hating anything. Atma share vidheya atma. And vidheya refers to vidhi vidhan. Vidhi vidhan means rules and regulations. He has control of his atma under the rules and regulations. Okay? And what is the result? Prasadam adhigacchati. So if you control your senses under the scriptural guidelines, vidheyatma, control your senses, control your atma, with the help of Krishna, you will be able to receive the mercy of Krishna. This is what this verse is saying. Charu Mataji, you have a question?
Yes, Prabhu. I have 2 questions and just one small comment to make. So in 62 and 63, we saw how attachment can lead to anger and then downfall. I was just remembering something. One time In one of the lectures, Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj refers to anger as Kamanuja.
Yes.
So younger brother, anger is younger brother of lust. So they just go hand in hand together always. Just a point. But the other thing the question I have is, this is a very practical, this is a situation scenario that we as parents or as spouses face every day. It is easy to control something that you don't look at every day. For example, even if you are going from the station to work, there are lots of allurements. You can easily forego those and go to work. But when you are in a situation, in a family situation, time and time and again, how do you control your senses and not literally allow yourself to be angry? You can do it once, you can do it twice, but if the provocation is too often, how do you do it? How do you control? So what are the practical tips for this? That is the first question.
Yes.
And the second is for verse number 64 in the purport. Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna, he says, if Krishna wants, the devotee can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would not have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. So where does our willpower come into this? If Krishna wants us to do it, we will do it. If he does not want, we won't do it. So where is the strength of our, where is our willpower in this?
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Very, very nice question. And I may not be able to do justice in next few minutes, but we'll give a nutshell. What I've heard again from different speakers on that. The first question was, Mataji was saying, outside allurements, we can easily ignore. Devotees are able to do that. They're not so much attracted. But inside, in the house situation, or many relations are there, and constantly, some things are not going right. And when we point them out, we do get angry sometimes. So the answer actually is given. It will only happen by listening of scriptures. So I said we should hear a lot. The more shravanam we do, the more we will be able to control our kama and krodha. The less shravanam we do, and now shravanam should not be done in a very passive state. Passive state when I say, yes, lecture is on, but my mind is already absorbed in some other thought, right? And I have experienced that, I'll be very honest. Sometimes I'm hearing a class, but I'm not hearing a class. You know what I'm saying? So class is going on, but another class is going in my mind. Because I feel that moment, that topic is more important than this class. And obviously I come back, I said, come on, such a nice class is going on. You should hear. So this is called active hearing and passive hearing. I'll give you one example for that. So there was one businessman. He went to some Bhagavatam Katha in first time in his life. He has never been to Bhagavatam Katha. He went to this Bhagavatam Katha. He was, some friends glorified Bhagavatam. You should go. It's very nice and you will get a lot of piety and all that. So he went for Katha. So he was very attracted to the speaker. And when he comes home, so every day he will repeat few nice points to his family while taking prasadam in the evening. So he will discuss some nice points with his family. So he had one parrot, a tota, who was also hearing every day some nice points. So on the 5th day of Bhagavatam, because every day he will come and say a few things to his family. So this tota called this owner and said, can you please come here? So owner came. Yes, my dear tota, my dear parrot, what can I do for you? He said, every day you come and you discuss very nice points. Actually, I really like them. So this owner, the speaker, was very much feeling good in his heart. See, I have given some preaching to someone. Someone is asking question. So he was very happy. He said, yes, what can I do for you? He said, I have a question for the Bhagavatam speaker. Can you please my question and ask to Bhagavatam speaker? He said, yes, I can do that. So he said, what's your question? He said, ask Bhagavatam speaker when you go back to hear Katha tomorrow, that how can I come out of my current situation? He said, how can I come out of my current situation? He said, okay, I'll ask. So next day he went on the 6th day Katha. So he asked the speaker after the Katha was over. So the speaker asked any questions. So for 5 days, he had not asked any question. 6th day, he said, yes, I have one question. So the speaker asked, yes, what's your question? So
Prabhu, can you repeat that? Your voice was stopped. We couldn't hear. Can you repeat the question again?
Okay. How can I come out of my current situation? Tota is asking the question, parrot is asking the question to this person. The person is the carrier. The person asked the speaker on the end of the 6th day Katha that my parrot has a question. So the speaker said, okay, what's your parrot's question? He said, parrot has asked, how can I come out of my current situation? As soon as the speaker heard the question, he became unconscious. He just on the spot, on the stage, he just lied down. All his disciples running. What happened to my Guru Maharaj? Someone coming with water, this and that. And this person was completely bewildered. He said, I didn't ask anything. I didn't offend anything. What happened to this person? Anyway, he came back home. So parrot asked, so did you ask my question? So this person said, I did ask your question, but as soon as I asked the question, the speaker became unconscious. So he said, I'm sorry, my dear Tota, my dear parrot, but I'll ask this question tomorrow. The Tota said, don't worry about it. I got the answer. Next morning, this person wakes up to go to his work. And after work, he will go to Katha. That was the plan. So he woke up and he saw his Tota was lying dead in the cage. He said, yesterday that his speaker was dead. He became unconscious. Today, Tota is dead. What is happening? I'm not able to understand it. So he immediately rushed to the cage. He opened the cage. As soon as he opened the cage, what did parrot do? Flew out of the cage. And he said, thank you very much. And this person felt cheated. So he went to the speaker that night, the last day, and he said, now today I have a question. The speaker said, what's your question? He said, yesterday I asked you a question that my parrot asked, how can I come out of my current situation? And you became unconscious. And my Tota did the drama this morning. He became unconscious. As soon as I opened the cage, he went out of the cage. So the speaker said, that's exactly what I was doing yesterday. I was telling the answer to the parrot because parrot asked the question. You did not understand, but parrot got the answer. Huh? So although he's attending Bhagavatam for 6 days, he could not understand a word of Bhagavatam. He's even speaking about it. Huh? But Tota, being very intelligent, he asked very intelligent question and he got the answer very intelligently. He told the person, don't worry about asking it again. I got the answer. What I have to do tomorrow, I know exactly. So if we actively hear Shastra, we will be able to control. We shall be able to control our krodha, our kama very, very nicely. The problem is many times we are hearing, but we are not hearing. And many times when we hear and don't contemplate upon it, which Bhagavatam recommends, we are not able to apply those things which Bhagavatam or these nice speakers are telling us. So problem is with us. Sorry, we are not actively hearing. We are hearing for the sake of hearing. We are doing devotion for the sake of devotion. We are not absorbed in the devotion at all. And the more we get absorbed, the more we get control over our mind, our senses, and people will become pleased with us. It says Goswamis are very well dealt with dhira and adhira both. Huh? So adhira refers to some rogues, some villagers which were not so devotionally attached, but they were very much respectful for the Goswamis. Narad Muni is respected by Hiranyakashipu as well as with the devotees, with the demigods. So he's able to do it. He is wonderful. So we are not devotees. Sorry, that's the answer. And how do we become devotee? The answer is given again, active hearing and lot of seva to Mahatmas. When we do seva to Mahatmas, to devotees, the prasad will come. And by that prasad, our covering will go. And when our covering will go, all these anarthas will not be able to trouble us. It will just happen. It will happen one day or other. And there's a pastime of Ramanujacharya as well, which I will not say. Otherwise, this whole class will go there. So, Mataji, in a nutshell, again, it's a big question. Active hearing and lot of seva to devotees from the heart to get the purpose. I need the mercy of this Vaishnava because this mercy is my only key. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj said that we should remember every Vaishnava we serve, every Vaishnava we serve, we should serve in a way that this Vaishnava has my key to get out of the material world. Are we serving with that consciousness? Probably not. Probably not. Even to great Vaishnavas, we don't serve with that consciousness. We serve with the consciousness many times, if not all the time, to get the glories from that Vaishnava or from other community members. So we have to go quite deep. And it's not going to happen overnight. It will take a lot of time, but it will happen. The sutra is given in Shastra. Okay, that's your first one. What's the second one, Mataji? Okay, the Krishna wants devotees can do anything which ordinarily undesirable. So example is given in Shastra of Arjun. Arjun was killing his grandfather. Arjun was killing his teacher. Will you ordinarily do that? Never. And Arjun himself was not willing to do that. Huh? But he was able to do that. Why? Krishna desired this. It says by Radha Govind Maharaj in one of the lecture, after listening Bhagavad Gita, in a humorous way, he was saying that Arjun may not have understood the whole Bhagavad Gita, but one thing he understood, I have to follow the words of Krishna. And he says, Karishye Vachanam Tava. And he picked up the Gandhi, he said, Pehle kisko marna hai? Whom I'm going to kill first? Just tell me that. Do you understand the verses? I don't care. Tell me what is your desire. So Prabhupada said, if Krishna asks us to kill the animals, we will kill all the animals of the world. We are not vegetarians, we are Krishnatarians. So that shows we are trying to align our will with Krishna's will or his representative's will, which is his guru. Our guru is the will of Krishna. He is presenting the will of the Lord. So if our guru is saying something which we ordinarily will not do, we should do it. We should do it. Prabhupada asked his disciple, go to China, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj, China? No way. No, you got to go. You got to go. He was surrendered. He went. He went. So if our Guru Maharaj would have asked us, probably how many of us will go to China tomorrow? Probably not many. Probably not many. So the surrender, and then you can see what wonders he could do. What wonders he could do. Is it okay? In a nutshell. Thank you, Mata. Let's do one more verse, and because it's in continuation, it's very nice. Oh, Savitru has a question. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji, it's basically not a question. It's like a comment only on the same question that being a grahastha, and as Mataji's question was there, that how do we control ourselves in the family situation. Prabhuji, we realized one thing, that being in a Krishna consciousness, even though we might be angry or we might be, getting into that situation, but a Krishna conscious person can realize it sooner he does any fault, because we are listening to and doing a smriti and listening to Bhagavatam, and we know what is good. And then next time we try and practice not to do it and control. So in a way, we all are practicing and trying, even though it's hard.
Yes.
But as compared to outside world, who don't even realize, that's the thing.
Yes.
They just do it, and that gets aggravated. So
yeah. That's a very, very nice point. Actually, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said the same point. I'll just say, just in my words, not in Maharaj's word. So basically, Maharaj was saying, in outside world, whenever someone says something or someone attacks someone, and the response time is 0 seconds. Immediately you respond. Before even the word touches your ears, you have the answer ready. How dare you say that to me? Immediately 0 second response time. But when a devotee, initially will have 1 second response time. He will listen, think, and then respond. You still get angry. After he getting little mature, he will have 5 second response time, 10 second response time. Slowly our response time will increase and increase and increase. Even when you get angry, after 5 minutes, it's fine. Prabhupada was angry sometime on his disciples, but after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, Prabhupada was just normal. Outside world, when they get angry, the whole life, I will never see your face, get out of my house, I've broken my relation, blah, blah, blah. Devotees are not like that. So both cases, our response time is increasing, is maturing. And after a while, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, someone insults me, someone praise me, it doesn't impact me. And he's saying from his heart, when I say it, it doesn't have any meaning. I have impact of those things. But Maharaj is saying, you can see it's just real. If you praise Maharaj, Maharaj is fine. If you, displease Maharaj, externally speaking, Maharaj does not take any offense. He is a different word. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said, a Vaishnava is one who forgives the other person even before he has committed the offense. We think we are Vaishnava, you have committed offense against me. Okay, I will forgive you. Showing ihsan on that person, showing compassion and kindness. Maharaj said, you are not a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is a one who forgives the offense of the person even before the offense is committed. That's pretty high. That's pretty high. But that's what Maharaj is saying. That's the standard. No, we are all struggling, and our response time is increasing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Many times which we hated someone or something, now we don't hate so much because we contemplate on, if you hate, Krishna is not happy. Krishna is not happy. Thank you, Mata. Very nice point. And thank you, Charu Mataji. Very nice practical question. Okay, let's do one verse and then we'll stop the class. It's the same
Prabhuji,
thoughts.
can I ask
Okay, Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Prabhuji, can I ask a quick question?
Yes. Okay, go for it, Mataji.
Actually, yesterday, not yesterday, last time in Toshan Prabhu's class, he mentioned about Jagannath, Lord Jagannath accepting food items which are like, I was surprised, like, like something like fish and all that. So I don't know, just wondering whether that is something that the Lord is desiring. So even though we according to our capacity or whatever that is, situation is different, or that can we connect something different?
Okay.
Like he's more
Okay, if I've understood correctly, Mataji, I was also in the class. So he did not say Lord accepts. He said Lords accept the service from the people, although they are taking fish. So Lord is definitely not. Lord is accepting the service from the people who are still taking fish, which is fine. So people are struggling with their conditioning, but Lord accepts the seva because Lord is very, very kind. But Lord does not accept it. So I was, I heard that. So some pandas, that's what Prabhu was saying, some pandas in Jagannath Puri, they still take fish, but Lord still accepts their seva. Is that okay, Mataji?
So does that mean the Lord is wanting their seva, like in that way, because not anyone can do seva
Yes, Mataji,
like that?
because
So
Lord loves everyone. Even if the kids are not well behaved, mother still loves them. Father still loves them. They drink alcohol or whatever, but mother will still try to pacify them in a way. The mother wants to quit them all these bad habits, but still they don't quit. What do the mother do? They still give the love and affection. All these Maharajas are accepting sevas from us. Are we very pure? No, they know we are impure. We have so many contaminations in our heart, but they still engage us in the service because through the service we will be purified. We cannot say the person, oh, first you correct your habits and then you come and serve me. As Prabhupada said, you are diseased, that's why you should take the medicine, not that you will get well and then you'll take the medicine of chanting Hare Krishna. I asked one person, please come to temple one day. I have drunk alcohol this morning, so I'll not come. And he never came. So that's just an excuse. We are diseased, that's why we have to take shelter of Krishna with our disease, and slowly by engaging with Krishna and with Krishna's devotees, all these symptoms of disease will go away. Does that answer what you wanted to ask, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, sorry, I misunderstood that. I was thinking that saying that we can offer that to the Lord, but it's only if you are having, and then they can still offer because they are getting purified.
Yes, Mataji. So Lord loves all the people, all the persons Lord loves, and Lord wants everyone to get purified. But at this stage, if they have some problem, Lord says, no problem. You come to me. Just by coming to me, you will get purified slowly. Okay, I think we'll stop here. It's 6:15. I don't want to go over time. We'll continue this discussion from 265. So next class probably will finish the second verse, and then we'll move to the next one. And sorry, today we went online just because, some other situations, nothing serious. Everything is good. I got some messages. Everything is good. But next time, hopefully, we'll see you each other face to face as much as possible. Okay, Hare Krishna. One more announcement. Samandir Mataji, I think, has published a link. So 3rd July, we are planning a little devotee picnic to pick up some fruits, mandarin. And if you have any questions, ask Mandira Mataji. She has the link and she can guide you to the venue and all that. If you can come, most welcome. And how do you join? Just come there. The address is in the link. The more the devotees, the better it is. So if you want to join us in that little picnic in the nature. Okay. If you have any questions, ask Sumindra Mataji for that.
I will post the link, Prabhuji, in the group too. I will post the link.
Mataji. Okay, no problem, Mataji.
I will.
No problem. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hari Hari Bol.